Hey, don't you love them? Yes, welcome back. Welcome back to Don't Think Too Hard podcast with eToy. It's an experience. Yes, 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 yes. We are here for another season, season 3, episode 2. And y'all know how I do for the last 2 seasons. We're going to do it again. We're going to pray. You want to know why we going to pray? Because whatever can go wrong will go wrong, and it happens every time. So let's just get this prayer out the way because we got a nice conversation coming up with a nice guest and my co-host. So let's get it out the way. Father God, I ask you to come in and please protect this podcast. I ask my assigned guides and my Egun and my protectors to come in and remove anything that does not belong here. Protect my guests as well. Oof. As I said, I just felt energy just leave off of me and out of my presence. Sometimes you just gotta slow down. Please cover me in this podcast and my guests and everyone that's watching with the full body armor of protection of God. May our words come out succinctly. May we enjoy this conversation. May we have fun while we do it. I give thanks. Ashe. Oh. So we are back with another episode. And guess whose birthday it was over the weekend? Yes. It was mine. I am so happy I made to see 45 and I call it 49. I do not look like what I've been through. I wanted to upload some pictures. It's okay, but just know that your girl was looking fabulous. Maybe I'll upload a picture later on during the podcast. I just want to get right to it because y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we just are long-winded, but the conversations just be so good. I be trying to stay within the hour, but they be so good and so informative. So I hope my co-host is ready. Are you ready? You ready? All right. So let's welcome to the stage my co-host, El Haj Saladin.
Well, let me begin with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. And I wish everyone a beautiful evening, and we're going to get right to it. And if you know someone that can tune in, please let them know that we're on, and they'll definitely will get some information, something that they can take away to uplift their spirit and certainly increase their knowledge.
Ashe, I just want to just take a breather right now, just for a second, because we all, with the sound check and everything that was going on, I just feel like I
Yes.
just got to move some energy. So I just want to take some deep breaths,
Yeah.
some grounding breaths, just to get grounded. Because sometimes things just happen so fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes things could just go haywire.
Yes. Yes. So
And
true.
it'll get you, and this is a mental health spiritual podcast. And sometimes you just gotta just move that energy. I always talk about it. So I just have to take that moment. Like I said, this is live, uncut, and raw. No edits, no nothing, because I like to relate to the audience. Sometimes you just gotta slow down and say, you know what? And we was going through it up until the last second.
Yeah.
And I said,
Absolutely.
you know what? No matter what, we gonna get on and we gonna go live. So within the midst of that, the energy still was flowing. So I just had to just come down for a second because Jmuse was about to bring us back up. I am so excited about this guest here. From the day that I met him, he always had good positive energy. And like El Haj said, if you know someone that needs to hear this podcast, please bring them in because this is going to be a good one. And we got hot topics and we are giving away cash prize again. Who doesn't love
Some cash.
who doesn't love? Oh, I do. Without further ado, how does my mic sound? Does my mic sound okay?
Yeah, you sound all right. I hear a little background noise, as far as but we'll
Really?
be
Because
okay because
this is sure. I'm gonna have to make a review to sure. So guess what?
yeah,
Let's
well,
move forward. J Muse, you ready?
yeah,
J
yes.
Muse. All
You
right. I
there?
see you just got
Mute.
back in your seat.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
without further ado, let's welcome to the stage J Muse.
Hey world, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Empress E. Toy, El Haj, peace to the planet. How's everybody going? Blessings and blessings and blessings.
I
Yes.
want to say thank you so kindly, J Muse, for coming on. I know you and my co-host El Haas has such a short introduction. I
Yes,
want to say thank you for your presence and for your patience.
no
So
problem.
tell everyone who is J Muse.
J Muse, okay. Phenomenal, amazing, superhero, king, God. Not looking for worship, but somebody who made a decision a while ago to just walk in my light and embrace who I am. Um, Someone of high vibration, even though there's a battle sometime. Um, but one who is very outgoing, one who loves to smile, one who loves to heal, love. Let me see. I'm one who loves to receive knowledge as well as give it. So I'm just that type of person. Basically, I'm all about building, gaining knowledge, spreading it out, receiving things, and very much in tune with my spiritual side and what I've been put on this planet for. So that's about it in a nutshell.
Mm.
Ashe, thank you for that. So you know how we go during our first meeting. What was your well, tell us about the time in your life when you faced a challenge with mental health?
Oh, so well, growing up in New York City, sometimes it could be rough until it's a little easy, right? So I learned as a child, um, mental health wasn't something that I was aware of until like later on, a few experiences. Because we're in a congested and diverse city, we deal with a lot of mental health or mental illness just based off experience. Um, Grow up in the Bronx, Bronx native, right? And what they would call like the ghetto or the urban areas in which there's a lot of peer pressure. You deal with wanting to be accepted from others. You deal with things that are going on in your environment, before you're in tune with what's in your DNA. And I do remember like a few times in which I had to react a certain way in reference to aggression. Growing up where it's congested and there's a lot of diversity, you're gonna have all type of energies coming at you, your way. So naturally, I was raised to like survive, and that involves sometimes being aggressive or sort of like fitting in at the same time with the in crowd.
Mm,
And of course, there was like there were challenges, some bullying going on, um, people looking at you face value, judging you, filling you out. And this is like elementary school, going into like junior high, whereas you're around a lot of kids who very outspoken. They can be like extremely nice or extremely mean. So when you have people who decide that they want to judge you or be devious or whatever the case is, the mental illness might come from your reaction as to what's going on. And
mm-hmm,
it also creates like a ripple effect of memories, um, bad things happening to you as opposed to good things. Also raised in an only parent household, no father in the house. So, you have like a lot of alone time. You have a lot of time when you're dealing with solitude. You have a lot of time with like the questions of what should I do, how should I react, and things of that nature. So, you know, growing up, we either had to snap, fight once or twice, with the acceptance thing, look for other reactions, and you can create based off your reaction of mental illness just off of sort of continuing what's going on. For example, hurt people, right? I might have had a time where I was bothered or bullied, right? At a time where I decided to do the same thing, just based off acceptance. So I realized overall I was misunderstood, just based off of that. When you get a little older, or when you become a little bit more knowledgeable and still growing, you learn how to not so much deal with mental illness, but try to accept what comes, right? With a smile, which might be
Mhm.
a frown. Also, try your best to practice on depleting that. You know, sometimes we go through so much trauma, whether it's physical, mental, verbal, that mental illness can't be depleted. But you just take your time, you know. And I felt like even with like our God or who created us, we were built to sort of turn conditioning into second nature. So
So
you
can
have
you
to
share
get
with us a
What
specific event?
sure. Okay. So every time I would go to a new school or go to a new neighborhood, somebody would always want to pick. And I do remember like being like 9 years old, coming to a certain neighborhood from another neighborhood. Everybody's looking. And the first day, someone, mentioned how I would possibly get my butt kicked at the end of the school year. And as a child, being all skinny and everything like that, I'm like, uh-oh, let's see what's going on. Am I going to get beat up? Are people going to make fun of me? Things of that nature. So it continued on for a while until one day I had to stand up for myself. And um, that part of it ended. I just learned that two wrongs don't make a right. So I learned how to be
mm,
assertive as opposed to aggressive. Now, once you challenge someone or you get challenged and you're the victor, you get all this extra pressure, right? It's not just, oh, he's the punk. Now everybody's sweating you a day later, wanting to get around you, wanting to be around you. And at that time, 9 years old, it felt good to fire back at the person who bullied or tried to pick on me. But as I got older, I realized it wasn't the best move because I learned that I was hurt. And I realized that in order for me to feel better, I would have to hurt that person, which is not the best thing to do as of now. Sometimes people don't deserve your energy, even if they rub you wrong. As an adult, I learned to just dismiss myself from
mm.
certain situations that make me feel a little bit wrong. So that's what I learned, you know.
Did you get
But it
any?
Nice.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry,
Did,
go ahead.
did, yeah. Let me ask you this. And you don't have to answer this. Did you get professional help?
Um, no, not for what. Well, I think a little deep when it comes to like professionalism, but what I did do and decided to do was always express myself, talk, whether I'm writing things down or drawing, express myself through art, and get in tune with people who identify in reference to the experience, and it kind of like helped me a lot. Um, I didn't always judge people who didn't have the experience, but I seemed to be attracting a lot of folks who had those same experiences and taught me about just finding ways to address things a little differently, you
Mm,
know,
mm.
as opposed to approaching things, or just to be assertive as opposed to just being aggressive all day. And if those
Okay.
things don't work, then I would always dismiss myself.
You
So,
know, I appreciate that because I want to talk about childhood trauma because that's what it sounds like it is.
yeah.
And I've dealt with a lot of childhood trauma, and you don't realize how much bullying can affect you. And as far as someone bullying you, and then you bully someone else in response to that. How does my mic sound? Is my mic okay? Do y'all hear something in the
Yeah, it's
background?
good.
I get yeah, I
It's
get some
good.
feedback from you. Yeah, yeah, a little bit of
You're good.
feedback when you speak.
So okay, I have to. It's these headphones. You know, I just bought these headphones last week, connected to the mic, and I'm gonna have to make a complaint. But anyway, moving forward. Also, not just with bullying, with the childhood that I had as far as my mother and things of that nature. I don't want to get into that.
Mhm.
Um, I carried that pain with me all the way up until adulthood, and I didn't realize how that molded me, how I responded. you know, how I came across to the world. On the inside, I knew who I was, but the way I came across to the world, I was somebody else. So so I appreciate that. Um, Brother El Hasan, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, this is why it's so important that male, black males in particular, and brown males that live in the inner cities, uh, they try to find their way of trying to uh, be men, and sometimes it's a lot of aggression, and it needs to be channeled, and we have to. We have a lot of soul searching to do and settling a lot of differences because we
I
as
agree.
black men, not I always use this term, there's always exceptions because I know some people out here that may be listening and say, well, that didn't happen to me. Well, there's a lot of trauma that we cause towards each other, trying to find what is called manhood, and we
Yes, sir.
define manhood based upon aggression, violence, and we've done a lot of harm to each other in our community. And nobody's going to solve this problem but us. We need to
Fact.
stop the violence, put them guns down, and
Fact.
try to reconcile our differences because nobody's going to come save us but us. And we lost a lot of mentors, men who were men in our community. We lost them through wars, uh, drug addiction, etc. That could be mentors in these neighborhoods where these young men need guidance. They need
Fact.
guidance, and we done a lot of harm, and we got to repent from that. Repent means to change our ways, and many
Mm-hmm.
of us have to change our ways. We cause a lot of trauma. Because if a 13-year-old or a 10-year-old see his neighbor in a bloody mess on the sidewalk, that's trauma. That's
Mm-hmm.
trauma. And he goes home. He goes right back. You get upstairs, boy. He goes upstairs. He saw a neighbor brutally murdered. Maybe more than that. Maybe several men that he saw and girls murdered. Where does he get? Now he
Yeah.
suffered from PTSD, post-traumatic stress
Yeah.
disorder. Let me say this before I let you continue, brother. Anyone that's been in the military, particularly if you went in combat, they just don't send you back into civilian population. You have suffered post-traumatic stress disorder. You have to be, uh, you have to get in an environment once you come back from this violence to be able to adjust back into civilian life. That's the military. So imagine people in the inner city seeing violence day in, day out. Where do they get post-traumatic stress? I mean, they have post-traumatic stress disorder, but where do they get the healing from? They don't get no healing, and so they internalize it, and they just continue. The level of violence just continue and continue, and we got to find a
That's
way uh, to have a program
So
because
that's a
soldiers, yeah.
segue. That's a segue for me to go into. So, what was your breaking point when you realized enough was enough, and you had to make changes? I just want to ask that El Haj, when you're not talking, to put your mic on mute, please. I'm gonna do the same.
Okay, okay. You want me to put mine on mute now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Jason, that was for you. What was your breaking point when you realized enough was enough and you had to make a change?
sure. Like I mentioned earlier, at that age, right? Like say at 9 or 10 years old, my first answer was to uh sort of like give that same energy back. So if it was aggression coming at me, just me wanting to be accepted, that was my first thought. Just being off, thinking off of impulse, right? And I learned that when you're compulsive and impulsive, you're going off of your mind, you're going off your conscious. That's not your subconscious. When you're dealing with your subconscious, you analyze things a little bit more, you take your time. I went from being aggressive back to simply dismissing myself, which was difficult at first because we come from a neighborhood where you couldn't back down. You was like it was frowned upon to walk away. But I was always told that. So definitely expression, not so much responding with aggression or assertion, just simply dismissing myself. I noticed that the power that I had to give people the same energy they gave me was the same power that I had to just basically go away, walk off, dismiss, just just exit the whole, situation. Whether I had to walk away, tell somebody, and Hodge mentioned something very important. Two keywords: channeling, definitely. Um, help, definitely. And when it comes to those things like PTSD, so it's just about finding a way. I noticed that a lot of times, if I did always respond aggressive, not only would it harm the person that's around me or the person that's trying to come at me, even worse, I would be harming myself. And like self detriment is the worst. So just so much finding a way to channel, express myself, and always finding out something new. The challenge is when you're growing and when you're a little uncomfortable, you challenge yourself. So it was like, okay, let me not approach things aggressive. Let me dismiss myself. And I also had to learn how to disassociate forgiving and forgetting. A lot of us have a problem with
Mm.
forgiving because we don't forget,
Mm.
and that add on to PTSD. You can never, it's okay to not forget, but like you have to sort of like forgive. Some people don't know what they're doing. Um, and you're really like doomed when you bottle things in. So, just a different approach as opposed to aggression and channeling my energy in other ways. You also have to accept what
I
comes with,
appreciate that.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I really appreciate that because I'm actually reading this listening to an audio book right now called Let Them. And it's
Mm,
really so much power when you just let them,
that's it.
you know?
Trust people
And
for
then
who they
and then
are.
and
Don't
then
walk
this and
around
in the
distrust.
same token, as I let them, let me.
There you go. There you go. Because
So
we all won anyway.
I really appreciate that. El Haj, you got anything you want to say to that?
I, I think that there's a lot of, as I said earlier, a lot of soul searching that young men would have to do. First of all, you know, they're going through a developmental stage, and the school systems that we are under or in, uh, they don't teach manhood training. They just teach the three R's: reading, writing, arithmetic, and that's it. They don't teach any manhood training. While these young men are going through an internal battle that's spiritual inside, and they trying to figure out how could I navigate myself in a society that the only way to be a man is through warfare, through violence, and it hampers the whole community because now violence
Right.
is the order of the day, and we have brilliant young men in two places: prison and in a cemetery, both trying to exert their manhood. And
That's a fact.
it's very difficult as a male, he's in class trying to figure out algebra 1, but he's worrying about whether or not he's going to get his sneakers taken in the bathroom, much less being taken. So how can he focus? That's my point. How can he focus when he can't even focus on the academic work in the classroom,
Mm.
fearing that if he goes into the bathroom, he may get his sneakers taken or his coat taken or even murdered.
I have something
Uh,
I want to rebut to that. I'm so
I
sorry.
want to do something too, but go ahead. I want to
I
say
want to
something.
rebut to that because my son just went through something like that today. Okay, my son is on
okay.
superintendent suspension, right? So since my son is my middle son, well, my
Mm-hmm.
fourth kid. I know I got five. Um,
Right.
since he got into this junior high school, he's in eighth grade now. He has been having a behavior problem. But this year we had a nice talk before the school year, and he said he was going to do good. He's doing good with minor. He's a kid. He's a boy. It's okay. But today I get a call from school from the principal and said that he had gotten to a major altercation, and it was a boy. They was going back and forth, and as the boy was walking out the classroom, he smacked the shit out of my son and ran out the classroom.
Mm.
I got to be honest.
Oh,
I
we can
can't.
curse?
So my son, you short.
We lost you, Etoy.
I'm here.
Yeah, we lost you. Came up. The screen is black.
Okay.
This recording error. Open to record.
Okay. The people out there listening and watching, please be patient with us. Uh,
Yes.
we have to please be patient.
The devil is a liar.
And hate to sense of
We-
humor.
well, remember last week I started talking about an organization and I went completely black. But go right ahead, Ito. You mentioned about your son being slapped in the face. Can you hear me, Ito?
It says recording error.
A liar.
Keep the devil in his hole.
I rebuke it. I rebuke it because I can't hear y'all. The devil is
I
a
I,
I
liar.
can hear
I
you.
hear I hear you, but it's like a feedback, like a fading. Yeah, people out there, please be patient with us. We have a little technical difficulty, and yeah, well, we'll continue the discussion until she come
Yeah,
back on.
I
Can
do.
you?
I do agree with. Are you back? Is she back?
Yeah, she came up frozen, and yeah, I hear you now, Itoy. Can you finish that point? Okay. Well, yeah, like she said, until she continue, and this is where the violence continue, because now her son been slapped in the face, and now uh, we don't know whether or not this is over on his part, on the boy who was the aggressor, and it just continue.
I
It's
agree. I
spiral.
that and that
Yeah.
mean that it's actually not over. Not right now. But like you mentioned earlier, once you can channel your energy, once you can try a different approach than the norm. Most of us have a problem with growing based on the fact that we want to do things the same and make that a routine. And usually, when you challenge yourself, you grow. Sometimes you have to be a little bit uncomfortable to grow. A sense of comfort, once you embellish yourself in that world fully, you become stagnated, you know? So you get in tune with what should happen, what's inevitable, right? Like walking down the street, waking up, yawning, breathing, and then you accept what's going on. Like she mentioned earlier, let them let them be. It's like trusting people for who they are, as opposed to walking around not trusting everybody. You sort of trust people for who they are, be in tune with the inevitable. Reactions won't be the same, and there's always another way to react. There's always another way to do things, and just by growth. And usually, when you challenge yourself, it starts off as conditioning and it becomes second nature after a while. So it's like we all go through. I'm going through it now. I still have a whole lot to learn. But the knowledge
We
that I did obtain,
hmm
I just wanted to just always do something different. And
Yeah.
expression,
Yes.
expression will keep you out of violence. Will keep you from. I learned years ago about a system that always wants to see us fail. So
hmm
you always shock the body. We've been shocked with what we've seen that it might have caused PTSD. So now we'll shock ourselves with something to challenge ourselves, something that'll feel good and resonate. You know,
I'm
Right.
back.
Right.
positive.
Okay. Good. 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 Good.
I'm
Hey,
Good.
back.
Itoy.
I don't know
Yeah.
what browser I was in. I don't even hear that feedback. That I don't know what's going on, but I hear it again. But we
Yeah. Yeah.
already know
Yeah.
what we said earlier. It was so much
Yeah.
going on, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to bust out with a prayer right quick because all the way up until we logged on for live,
hmm
shit has been haywire. So I'm gonna ask God, I'm gonna ask my ancestors, I'm gonna ask my protectors, I'm gonna ask my Agun to come in and to remove all that negative, all that janky, all that evil out, all that negativity. Please remove that because we don't have no time for that. We got a podcast to do and we got a message to get out. All of a sudden, I blank out. The sound is no. We not
that truth.
doing
That's that truth
that.
right there.
We not doing that. Like we gonna keep this going. And like I said, like y'all gonna see it live, raw, and uncut. And I like it like that. And I'm not editing nothing out. Bam.
Bam.
Bam. That's how we gonna do that.
Yes,
Because
yes,
ain't nothing
yes,
fake over here. Ain't nothing edited. Ain't nothing cosmetic over here. We gonna get it right. And like I was saying, back to my story.
yes, yes. I want you to finish that. Yeah, go ahead.
And we gonna laugh through it. And we gonna have fun with it. And we gonna have fun with this. Moving forward. So, like I said, he slapped the shit out of my son. Right?
Hmm.
But this boy is a 16-year-old boy who hasn't been getting left back for years and years and years. My son is 12, getting ready to be 13. He's in the eighth grade. So if I'm going to tell the truth, I gotta tell the whole truth. My son pulled out a house knife on the
Hmm.
boy.
Wow.
Yes. And ran after him. I gotta tell the whole truth. So when you said about, kids have to worry about getting the sneakers taken and things of that
Hmm.
nature. So what I said to the
Right.
principal was, because my son was right at first, because everybody said that the boy can start with him since 7:57 this morning. All the teachers and everybody, even the security. But my son was wrong when he pulled out the knife. So embarrassing, but it is what it is. This is the truth. This is raw and this is uncut. So what I said to the principal was, my son has never behaved in this way as far as weapons. Why does he feel like he has to bring a weapon to school? What is going on? What's going on here? So I totally understand where you coming from when you said that about he has to worry about who's gonna take his sneaker, because my son is very short
Hmm.
and the boy is very very tall. So he said
Mm.
that he felt like he had to protect himself because of as far as height and strength. So
So
yeah,
the so the
Yeah.
knife was the equalizer,
the knife was the equalizer.
right? Because he understood that he had a height advantage over him, and he felt that the knife was the equalizer. Let me say this to the audience out there that may be listening. And I always use the term exceptions. Our boys need to be in schools with black men. Okay? They need to be in school. The teachers need to be men. So when they come in, they know that these men are well disciplined, know what it is to be a young boy, and can give them discipline as well as academics. At one time, early in, let's say, 1940s, 1950s, basically 1960s, we had schools that was separate based upon gender. But the Board of Ed came up with the concept where we want the boys and girls to be together. The only ones that still adhere to the separation of schools based upon sex was parochial schools, pretty much, and they were successful. But when we started bringing boys and girls together to learn together, that's when everything fell apart. Fell apart because some of these teachers, oh, there's always exceptions. Some of these teachers just trying to get through the day. It's a war zone in the school. They don't know whether or not
Yep.
they're even going to make it out
Yep.
alive, okay, to their
Yep.
car or to the subway. And so we need black men to step up who have the educational background and the love of their people, because they're the future, these boys, because one day they're going to be men and husbands, to set up schools with the parents' permission. That when they enter these schools, they're going to have manhood training plus the three R's. And they know that when they come into these schools, they're going to be disciplined and learn to love one another, because there's not a lot of that going on. It's just it's just a battleground. A battleground. You know how many young men who use is the term dumb down, meaning that they're smart young men, but to fit in, they play like they're ignorant and dumb, because they
Right.
realize if I speaks the King English properly, if I read grade level, in other words, if I act not act, if I am smart, then I'm soft. I'm a punk. or when I was coming up, acting white. And so we destroy, we destroy young men who could be a great asset to themselves, their potential family, and their community. There's a lot of suffering and trauma going on. And
Yeah, it
I'm going to
is.
reiterate this: nobody's going to save us. There's no cavalry coming to save us. And black men have to take responsibility. They have to take responsibility because it could have turned out worse. Your son, God forbid, could have stabbed this young man to death. Okay, and protecting himself. And
Yeah,
now
yeah, absolutely
he
right.
he's facing charges of homicide. And your whole family life now could change just on a dime. Brother Moose, you could, you want to add on to something, you want
Yeah,
to share.
definitely, definitely. Like you also mentioned community. I'm, I was born in the '80s, and I see it now as far as the village to raise the child aspect. I don't see it as much. Always felt like when I was a little smaller, growing up in the '80s, I started to see it like dwindle out. Going towards like the '90s, mid '90s, and then the 2000s. Some people simply don't care because they've cared too much and they feel like extra drained, which is no excuse to keep things going. A lot of us ask for patience, not knowing that we're going to be tested. A lot of us ask for strength, not knowing that there's going to be something placed in front of us that's extremely healthy. So you have to like sort of like be careful what you ask for. Try to
Mm,
make your thoughts coexist with your words, and your words coexist with your actions positively. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I remember being 90 pounds, so I get it, the whole height thing and things of that nature. It is totally up to us. Once we're taught to, for example, gain knowledge of ourselves or take control a little bit more, then the only thing better than helping somebody is helping yourself. The only thing worse than hurting somebody is hurting yourself. And it does take experience. Sometimes it'll take a lot of expression. So as far as your son goes, you know, he can get into journaling, he can get into, text, he can get into like writing things down, a composition book in which he's expressing himself every day, whether it's a good day or a bad day. This what will happen though. Once he's expressing what's going on daily, right? He's gonna feel better out than in. We use the bathroom every morning, every evening, every afternoon. That's something to tell you to let go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once he learns about the good and bad days, he'll put it all together and learn. Sometimes you got to take the bitter with the sweet. The sweet. It'll become inevitable to him. Things that might happen. For example, if you shine, Mr. Hard shines. He has to know that there's another force that's trying to take that away. If you're on a righteous path, not right or wrong, just righteous path. You just have to know that there's going to be something else working very, very hard to take that away from you. When you do the acknowledgement, then you do the knowledge. You see it coming. You can possibly come up with a strike system if you want, but if you see it coming, that's already strike one. By the time it
mm,
comes, that's already strike two. You understand what I'm saying? Then you will actually be able to understand why this certain energy is coming your way, why this person is bothering you, why this is happening, why is that happening. And it won't be an impulse rate once you analyze everything. So, for example, I'm a musician, right? And that's how I kind of came up with the name Jmuse. Jason. You have Muse, which is mosaic, and then you have like the Greek meaning, which would involve like a daughter of an entity that was putting together arts and sciences, right? So art is expression. Expression is art, right? And once you get things out, you'll be able to sort of like not so much deal with, but embrace what's going on. Therefore, you'll react based off your subconscious, your spirit, as opposed to just your mind and your emotion and your heart. Sometimes that'll land us in a bad place when we're just moving on from that. So Another thing he mentioned, Haj, he mentioned, the all boy school or the all girls school. At one time, for what I understand, when we were integrated, even through race, that was our detriment. But it gives young gentlemen a chance to focus when they're surrounded by nothing but males, right? They'll get in tune with divine masculine. You have young women who are in all girl schools or in all girl institutions that'll give them a chance to embrace and just roll with divine feminine. As they get older, they'll have the choice to go here or there or become more diverse. You understand? Sometimes we need that focus. Sometimes we need that discipline. I wrote that on my vision board not too long ago. It's like I've had this vision board for years, but it was a word always missing. And then I analyzed and I learned that discipline is not about what you want to do, it's about what you need to do. And also, always staying consistent, even when you're not motivated. That's true discipline. Always staying consistent, even when you're not motivated. So just because you don't feel like it, that don't mean you don't need to. You understand? You
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
might not want to go to work one morning, but you need to. And it's deeper than bills that you have to pay. Just step outside the door to go to your occupation to do whatever you're doing. You're actually helping people. We're here to serve. That's our goal. We have to embrace that. But it's just ways you do it, right? So in any situation, whether it's something that'll cause PTSD, something that'll cause trauma, because it's a shock value. Everything is good, and then you see something bad, and now your body's trying to adjust to what's going on over here, in addition to what's going on over here. And
Yeah.
guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From that, there's rage, anger,
Mm-hmm.
frustration,
Mm-hmm.
depression,
Mm-hmm.
stress, suicide. Those are all cousins. Those are all spirits. And
Mm-hmm.
not for nothing,
Mm-hmm.
not for nothing, when things do
Hold on,
happen in
hold
our
on, hold on,
environment.
hold on,
I'm
because you
sorry.
getting deep. I
I'm
want you to
sorry.
let's get through these questions because
Sorry.
I always say I'm trying to keep it within the hour, but I can
You
see
right.
we not gonna go
My
an
bad.
hour. But I'm stay within an hour. But hold that thought because we gonna have that part for the next segment.
Okay.
Um, what I want to say is please stay tuned. Please stay tuned because we got hot topics coming and then we got trivia time when I'm giving away cash prize. Please stay tuned. But I want to get through this interview because I
Yes.
see you long-winded as well. so,
Lord.
so I was going to ask you what were the action steps that you took to come out of the mud of your pain, but you kind of answered that already. So that's why I said, hold on. I
Okay.
want your opinion on what is your take on the power of the mind.
Ooh, me or Mr. Hodge? Which one?
Be asking you.
Okay.
You're the guest.
So the power of the mind. So there's power in the mind, right? But let's just take power and make that an understatement because there's so much that could be done with the mind, right? So number one, there is power
and
in the
and
mind.
I'm sorry to cut you before you go in. Please, if you're texting me, please put it in the chat. Please put it in the chat. Please put it in the chat. Don't text me. Be a part of the conversation, please. And win some money in about 20 minutes. Please put it in the chat. Thank you.
Okay. So the power of the mind. So I learned a lot about that, the power of the mind. I did mention a vision board not too long ago. I learned that once you think something, right? Once something comes to you as a thought, you have to be very, very careful because that can turn into words, that can turn into actions. It involves your emotions, it involves vibration, it involves a magnetic force field. You have to be very, very careful. If you think life, then guess what? Right? If you think negative, then guess what? Back, like I said, back in the day when the whole bullying situation or people picking, me being aggressive or going outside with a screw face. Nobody's gonna mess with me anymore. I learned that I have a light, I shine. So guess what? I ended up attracting that negative energy just based off
Mm,
of how I'm conducting
mm,
myself. I said, you know
mm,
what? I'm not gonna sit there and deny negative energy. I'm gonna embrace it and then smile because what has helped me, smiling, right? Not fighting or going against what's negative. And I said, damn, you know what, Jay? You know what? If you keep thinking about things that are positive, if you keep smiling, and things are gonna come to you, and that's after experiencing. And I meditate. Nothing against prayer. I manifest. Nothing
meditation
against.
is prayer.
Right. There we go. But there's levels, right? From what I understand, at one point in time, we was always asking for an outside source to give us what we need, as opposed to saying, mm, because um, everything was created out of one idea, right? So we, as who we are as beings, we have to sort of embrace that power that we have, ideas, right? And you know that if you think of something that you want to do, you have to go from I want to do it to I'm gonna do it. You understand? And not to lean so much over. So it's like just find the levels. You know, don't go too deep into I wanna. Just find levels. Don't go too deep into I'm gonna. Just find levels. So the mind is very powerful. You can obtain anything you want just through thoughts, action, right? Your words, definitely action. So for all my prayer warriors, you can't just pray. You got to go out there and go for what you pray for.
I,
For
I,
all my
I really, I
manifestors,
really want to, I really want to rebut to that. I really do,
sure,
because you're on to
sure,
something here. And I
sure,
mentioned this last week, and I have a book that I want to reference today. But I mentioned this last week. El Haj Saladin, you could attest to this, right? About how the element of the water and how powerful it is, and how what is the world mostly consist of? Water. What do our body mostly consist of? Water. And there was this Chinese scientist who did a experiment for 30 days, and he had three different glasses. I'm going to run through it right quick, because I said it last episode. He had three jars of water. One he spoke good to, one he left alone, he just left stagnant, and one he just talked real bad to. The one he spoke good to for 30 days, it was clear, it was lovely, it was vibrant, it smelled so good. The one that he didn't speak, he didn't give no attention to, it was like it was a little murky. But the one that he talked nasty to, the water stank, it was black, it was dirty, it was disgusting, right? So
yeah,
this world consists of mostly water, right? What does this water do, right? It evaporates into the atmosphere. What is our body mostly consisted of? Water. So as we speak, we are putting it out into the atmosphere, and we are programming the water that's
for
around us.
sure,
And but
for
I ain't
sure,
finished, but we also have a spiritual fluid, that aura
for
that's
sure.
around us. So I want to reference to this is my godfather's godfather. Shout out to my godfather Baba Oludare and his godfather Oba Ade Deo. Hope y'all can see it. And the name of the
Oba
book is
Adidea.
and the name of the book is A Glass of Water and a Candle. Right? So I just want to reference, right? It's on page 18. Certain behaviors and people can also cause a cellular reaction where cells emit radioactive energy that attract like energy radiation. Depending on the nature of the energy, it can also cause an imbalance in a person's first metaphysically or physically. Some energy is cooperative and some consuming, like radiation eating other energy, eventually decaying the body or host that is attached to itself. In response, we use sound, scent, fire, and water to dismantle and dispose of such praying energy. Hold on, because it's another part. This I couldn't put this book down. Hold on. All energy has positive and negative charges, atoms, cells, and people, as well as spirits. If you engage in negative activity, you will most likely attract negative reality. The physical negativity will be drawn to a negative output, and then vice versa. Simply put, negative thoughts and behavior attract bad spirits. Yeah, guys, this right here, everybody ain't ready for this one. Everybody not ready for this book. Oba Ade
Fact,
Deo, A Glass of Water
fact,
and a Candle. Yeah. Go ahead,
facts.
brother. Anything you want to say to that, brother Chandler?
Yeah.
Brother
Well,
El Hasaladin?
well, water. Yes, you are absolutely right, Sister Toy, that the Earth is underwater 3/4 of its surface. 75% of the Earth is consumed with water, and we biologically is also have 75% of water. But water is very mm, pliable. That you could put water take the shape of anything that you put it in. If it's a triangle, a circle, any geometric shape. So what is that saying to us? What is the creator of life saying? That human beings are symbolic of water, and you'll take the shape of your environment.
Mm, mm,
I don't want to get
mm,
too deep,
mm, mm.
but we become what the environment puts out there. And this is why it's so important that when we have young boys and young girls, they're being shaped by the environment. It is up to us, the elders, the guardians, to put them in the right situation. But
That's a fact.
we have a society that don't want them to think critically, don't want them, so they move them emotionally, just like the water. You notice that when you go by the water, if it's still and you throw a little pebble, it ripples, the vibration. So sometimes we are being moved emotionally and we don't even know we're being moved emotionally as young boys, as young girls, because we don't understand human nature. When we
That's a fact.
understand human nature, when we understand that we have a symbolic connection to what we call earth, and being you talk about the rise through the mud, well, mud is not mud alone. It needs water. It
Come
needs
on now.
water to be mud.
It's a fact.
Okay, and then it has other properties in the mud. And
Right.
so many of us are in the mud of this civilization. And there were teachers that came among us and said, with a word, to come out of the mud of
For
Western
sure.
civilization.
Mm,
But we didn't
For
listen because other enemies of our rise as a people, that they understand human nature too, says we're
mm-hmm.
going to silence those who understand the human nature and bring them out of this mud we call civilization because they understand the nature of water. Water is you can shape water any way you want to. You could although water is a peaceful element, but we know from a couple of days ago through Melissa, okay, what havoc water could
We
do.
going that's the hot topic. Don't jump ahead. Don't jump ahead yet.
Okay, okay. So water is a peaceful element, but when it gets out of control, it can cause just like fire, earth, water, fire. These are elements. They're peaceful, but once they get out of control, they can cause great damage. So I'll let brother
yep.
continue
So do
because
you
you
do
know
you
me.
have
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
else you
yeah.
want to say, Jmuse? Because I got to keep it moving. We 53 minutes, 53 minutes
No, I
in.
mean, he's right. Basically, become the water, become air. If you there's this water's like your subconscious. So if you think something in your conscious mind, your subconscious is not going to take it for a joke. If you're telling yourself you're stupid, that water, that subconscious is going to shape itself into that. If you
Hmm.
tell yourself, it all starts with self. If you tell yourself that you're smart, you're going to believe it, and then you're going to know it, and then yeah. So you think boss, therefore you are.
Mm.
So
You
so
think
now
queen,
the
therefore you
question
are.
is the next question is because we got to move. I'm sorry, we got to move. We got to move. I got to
Sure.
keep it
No, go
tight. Got to
ahead.
keep it tight. So I just want to say thank you
Sure.
to
It's
everyone
all
that's
good.
still here. I know people's tuning in and tuning out. Stay tuned for the cash prize. For the person that won the last week, you cannot win this week, and you know why. But I want you to still stay on. Um, yeah, thank you. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. We get ready to move to our next segment. I'm trying to keep it under 1 hour. We never stay within 1 hour. That means the
It's probably not
conversation
gonna
is
happen.
always good.
Yeah. Hmm.
Right. So what are you
Knowledge is
doing
it.
now? Let's get to the part. What are you doing now?
Oh, me,
Yeah,
Jason,
you,
J Muse.
Jason. What
Oh,
are you
so
doing?
I'm an artist, right? I produce. I'm a musician. Basically, I create. You know. Um, So as of now, I've been like hunting for like older vintage type sounds and things of that nature. I come from live instrumentation, So like that's one of my goals, to continue like sharpening my tools and sharpening my sword as far as that way of expressing my art. You understand what I'm saying? Um, I'm also getting into a book now, and I'm coming up with like three projects. One with like a bunch of instrumentals, another way I can express myself poetically on some music. Another one with like a bunch of artists, basically. So three projects coming soon on all platforms, basically. I'm on Instagram, Jmuse underscore 101 underscore. So you'll see a bunch of that. So that's my music thing. Other than that, teach and preach. I know knowledge is infinite, so it's gonna continue to build. And that's just one way,
Nice.
ladies and gentlemen. That's just one gift we all have, but it's multiple. God given.
Nice. I like that. I like that.
Okay.
So I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. El Haza, you want to say anything else?
Yeah, I appreciate his energy, and you use certain terms like knowledge of self and sword, and I take it that
I know. I know.
I,
Appreciate it.
I,
Appreciate
I
it.
take it that I take it that you have some connections with the teachings of the lost found
Yeah,
Nation of Islam.
Farrakhan.
At least that.
Yes.
Okay,
Ali.
I picked up on the
We ain't
language.
gonna get too we ain't gonna get too deep, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
picked up the language. That's okay because uh, that ideology, that school of thought
It's helped me
has.
so much. It's helped me so much.
There you
So
go.
much.
I picked up on it. I
But I'm
picked
only
up on
starting.
it.
I'm only getting started.
Okay, well, you know what? In the word knowledge, if you break it down in a compound word, is no ledge.
For sure. For
No
sure.
ledge, no edge. So knowledge is
For sure.
infinite, and you never stop
Infinite.
growing. Right.
Never.
And being you
Right.
and being that you are an artist and you are a wordsmith, a master of words, hopefully I pray that you use those words to uplift our community, our people. Because even on these podcasts, there's a lot of hate going on. There's total destruction. We
Yes,
have
sir.
not taken these airwaves seriously. And some people, they just, that's all they do is just attack one another's character, and just tear each other down. We got enough enemies that are seeking our destruction. We don't need to do it to each other.
Sir. Not at all.
And that's
I
trauma.
agree.
That's psychological trauma. That's psychological warfare on a whole nother level. And some of us need to step aside and ignore these people and those who have the armor to go after these enemies of ours who are destroying our community and causing young men to settle their differences through armed warfare. We got enough problems, and we're losing a whole generation of young men and women that could be doctors, lawyers, and something that you said, brother, before 1954, Brown versus the Board of Education, we had black schools. We didn't have all these problems because the teachers were disciplined people, and they knew that we had a future generation that they was training to educate for a better future. They didn't tolerate all of this nonsense. But when we integrated, we lost great teachers, and then we became political pawns. I'm talking about students. We became political pawns, and nobody cares because there are other private schools, yeshivas, and others. They don't have this problem, and if they do have these problems, it's internal. They settled their problems with behavioral problems because that's human nature. But us, we became an experiment, and I remember
Mm.
busings. I don't know if y'all remember that because you said you was born in the '80s, but I was born a little bit, a couple of years earlier in the '50s. They experimented with us, called school busing, and played around and caused, that's a whole nother subject. We've just been almost no disrespect. We've been experimented on, and we lost a whole
All right,
generation.
so we got to keep it moving. We got to keep because it is exactly 1 hour in, and we haven't gotten to hot
Okay,
topics.
all right.
Okay,
Let's. Well, I
so
don't see
again,
brother. what happened to him? I don't see him on the screen. Is he?
I tell you that. But you know what? Mercury retrograde is right around the corner.
Oh,
There he
okay,
go.
okay. I don't see him yet. Yeah, but
He's
to
coming
the
in. Mercury
audience out there,
retrograde is.
that's yeah, that's
Go ahead.
listening. I hope that they're patient out there. We have some technical difficulties, and we'll get it better. I mean, it just happens. I hope the people are patient. And I guess if we was talking foolishness, and I guess we wouldn't have no interruptions.
Yeah, but you know what? We're gonna clear that little energy right from out of there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I don't see the brother yet. I don't know because I don't see
No,
him.
I'm texting. He's texting me now.
Okay,
I'm telling him
okay,
to
okay,
come back on.
okay.
We don't know what's happening here, but
Yeah.
he's saying to be continued. No, come back in, come back in, come back in, because we haven't gotten to hot topics, and he was the one that brought up this hot topic.
Oh, okay. So he definitely can't exit
You can't.
now.
Come on, you can't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
On with the hot topics.
Yeah, right.
He's saying he's trying.
Okay. We'll be patient.
We'll be patient. So anyway, if y'all see me
Six
always
six is
looking
fine. Yeah, yeah,
down,
go
I am
Yeah.
also the administrator of my podcast. So I'm just working and sending out to people and handling the controls and things of that nature. I'm telling him to come back on. I'm telling him to come back on. But you know what? Like I said before, this is live. This is raw. This is uncut. We is not doing no editing. We're gonna leave every single thing here. You wanna know why I do this? It's because this is what life is.
Yeah.
Life is about ups and downs. I have spent so many years um, building a prison over perfection. Here you go.
There we
I
go.
spent there we
They
go.
can cut us
I
off.
spent so many years building a prison over perfection. So I love it when I see mistakes. Because that's also a part of where my anxiety had came from. You know what?
Mm.
It's your background, Jmuse, that's doing that damn sound.
No,
Yes, because when you wasn't on, it was clear.
my windows are
Yes.
closed. I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry. Should I relocate? I closed all my windows. I sealed it and
Listen,
everything.
put your stuff on mute for a second, please.
Let me see. Let me see.
There we go. There we go. Because I'm like,
Right.
wait a
So
minute now. We got all this. You, it's okay. It's okay. But like I said, what we gonna do? We not gonna delete nothing. We gonna leave everything here. Like I was saying before, I have spent so many years, my entire life, trying to live up and prove to everyone who I am and try to be what everyone think that I should be, to the point where I had lost myself, to the point where everything had to be perfect. And if it wasn't perfect, I would get excited. Oh my God, here we go. What they gonna think? It's just like, hold the fuck up. Who am I doing this for? Am I doing it for me? Or am I doing it to impress somebody else? So it's just
mm,
basically, I'm just trying to be relatable as much as I can. That's why when the mistakes come, mute your mic, J Muse. That's why when the mistakes come, thank you. During this podcast, I love it and I leave it because I just want people to see that no matter what, you still gotta push forward through. I used to make mistakes and worry about making mistakes. You know how many times it stopped me from doing an opportunity? Did y'all know that I used to have stage fright? I had bad stage fright to the point where the first time I had to speak, I threw up and I had a headache. I had a whole anxiety attack, and I was on a pen like this. I couldn't say two damn words. Two words. Two words. Now you can't even get me to shut up. Give me the mic. They be putting the music on for me. Like it's time to go. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
with all the mistakes, I just like to just keep it. Okay, Jay Muse went out again. Yeah, he had me thinking it was my mic. and I had to suffer. It was his
It was
mic, his order, his
it was him
background.
all along.
It was him the whole damn time.
It
We
was
were
him all
a
along.
whole hour in,
Yeah. Yeah, it
but
was
it's
him all along.
okay.
But we all, yeah, I mean, we
It's
all
okay.
learn from mistakes. We all learn from mistakes because
Mm-hmm.
uh, by committing mistakes,
It's
we
a it's an
grow.
experience.
Right, right, right,
It's a
right.
learning
A person
experience.
that
I
never
love
made any
it.
mistakes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And some people, they hold other people to a higher standard as if they never committed any mistakes.
Right.
And we all make mistakes, but we got to make the proper correction at the proper time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Particularly when
I
you're
definitely
speaking.
agree. So you
Yeah,
back, J
especially when
Muse? You
you.
back?
I'm back. I don't know what happened
Okay.
You're
before.
back like you caught her?
Yeah, there you go.
Welcome
Okay.
back.
I only
Welcome
heard
back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
that was my show. That was my show back then. That was my show. That's like right after we got cable.
All right,
But
so listen, so mute your mic again. I'm about to introduce hot topics.
okay.
So this is I have added two new things to this show, right? Maybe that's why we're going 2 hours now, because if I would have ended it here, it'd have been about an hour. But
Yeah.
I'm just trying to bring some new flavor. I'm just trying to do something different, something new. And we're about to bring in hot topics.
Hot topics.
I love that. Shout out to my boy Ish York, all the way from Atlanta. When I tell you, he always come through. I was annoying him. I was getting on his nerves. We was back and forth, and I'm like, no, I want like this, like that, like this, like that. And he like, ugh. But you know what? When you have a vision, it has to come through, right? So, shout out to Jay Muse because he actually gave this hot topic. And shout out to my co-host because he said he want to talk about something international. And at first I was like, I don't want to do international. We're gonna figure it out. And then Jay Muse had a whole bunch of ideas, and he said the flood in Jamaica. And I said, wow, my co-host wanted to talk about something international anyway. So I'm gonna leave it up to you guys, and I'm gonna chime in because y'all know I'm still over here working. Oh, I need a producer so that I could just sit here and be pretty and talk, and I don't have to keep holding my head down back and doing this back and forth because I'm running everything back here. I'm doing buttons here, buttons there, buttons there, buttons there, doing this here, doing this there. But we
Yeah.
keeping it together. We keeping it together. So
Absolutely.
without further ado, let's bring it in because you want to know why? I pay a lot of money for this stream, y'all. So we gonna hit all the buttons that we can.
Hot topics.
So J Muse,
Yes.
in Jamaica. I mean the weather in Jamaica. Speak about it.
Okay. So
And feel
I
free,
had
everyone, to chime in. Sorry about that, J Muse. Feel free, please chime in. Please, 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 please be a part of the conversation. Thank y'all so much.
not too long ago, I had a friend that mentioned possibly going to Jamaica for his birthday. Him and his wife, and he second guessed it based on the the storm. So I was like telling him, hey, you shouldn't go, right? And or just wait. One thing that stuck out to me was like it seems as if anytime it's like a hurricane or a big storm, it's always following a certain trail, especially in the Caribbean. I'm a little deep when it comes to thinking, so always analyze like why these things happen, you know. And one of the conclusions that came to me was in reference to how we treat our planet. I always understood that our planet is a living organism, and as of now, when things commence, storms, tornadoes, hurricanes, um, earthquakes, I always would feel like it's a response to what we've been doing as a people. We connected with the earth, and that for me is big as opposed to like a terrorist attack or something like that. When nature gets to talking, when nature gets to rumbling, when the earth, the water, the elements get to stirring up, I always would perceive it as like something being upset or something just giving us a message that's not even like a sub. It's just so blatant. And just to avoid those things, as a people, we will all need to get into our spirituality, because that's like energy. Energy is breath. Breath is persona. Persona is aura, back to spirit. And I always felt like the earth had a spirit also, right? So you have tangible form, things that we can touch. And that's fine, but this is temporary. There's ways to sort of like avoid these, catastrophic events. Things do happen, yes. Things were written down, yes. But there's always a way to sort of like give thanks. So there's been many names, whether it's our creator, whether it's the universe, whether it's the earth. I always felt like she was a little upset. I listened to a lot of Dick Gregory, and he mentioned the name Hurricane. He mentioned something's
Mm.
angry, something's upset, and there's always a trail. I don't know if it's like coming exactly from like a location in West Africa, but I would always study and follow. I said, wow. So aside from my friend telling me that he was going, of course everyone's seen it on the news. Me personally, I don't watch the news because it can create depression and all these things based off how we, you know, not so much process or not so much intake our info, but process it. Like you mentioned, Ito, you mentioned anxiety that comes from intake and processing speed. And when we're intaking things 6,000 miles an hour, we still have to process. We have to take time to process. So it's not just about eating and drinking what you see and what you hear. Be attentive, I've always been like into nature, grounding, hugging trees, slapping the leaves, and apple picking. Whatever was considered corny when I was smaller is like so
Mm-hmm.
cool now.
Mm-hmm.
Feeding the squirrels, um, going to the beach, um, enjoying some air, going by the water. I love the water.
Mhm.
Those to me are ways of giving thanks, to our planet. And I always felt like it's something that we've been doing wrong. So that's like a lifelong journey, but it's always a step when you're trying to pay tribute. The earth was here before we came here physically. And when we go physically, Earth's still going to be here. So since life goes on, I always apply that to aspects. Okay, this is a circumference, or this is something in which we have to pay tribute to because we've been given so much in abundance, whether it's food, plants, our elements. Why not give back, right? So when I hear about these things, I just shake my head and I say, damn, we have to do better. Literally, we have to do better. We can get into materialism, but it's not substantial if it's nothing stable. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for example,
Mm-hmm.
food, clothing, and shelter. Some people perceive those three things as materials. I
Mm-hmm.
would consider those things stable, right? In order to grow, and it's okay to do that. And after a while, that's easy. Food, clothing, and shelter. Then you go to a next level in which you're dealing with your emotions and your spirit. You know. Um, After that,
Sorry about that.
like you said,
Somebody was
master.
calling me.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. When you master those type of things, like your emotion, your spirit, and your mind, then your body, would get to the next level, growth and development.
So I just want to keep that.
Just like water.
I want to keep it with the hurricane in Jamaica because you.
Yeah, meaning,
I want you
it's
to
all
keep
one.
referencing that. Okay.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
So basically, treating ourselves with care is like treating the earth with care. You know, get into our spirit is like getting to the earth spirit. Putting out positive energy, you'll get that back. You know how people always look, oh, because they always mean. Well, if you smile, there's less tension. You're releasing some things, right? So just the simple things. Some people might not understand it, some people do, and that's the greatest thing. Um, Giving back to the earth. I believe and I truly feel that it'll avoid things like all of these hurricanes and all these tornadoes and all these. Sometimes we'll take our thoughts to the heart as if we're God or we're we're the creator, and then things always just backfire. So we can continue to give back to the earth and give thanks. We'll be all right. Less hurricanes.
Yeah,
Nobody needs that right now.
yeah. Well, some
So,
things
Keep us
happen, you know.
avoiding
El Haas, do you
and
have anything to say to that? Because I have a response about the
Well,
hurricane in Jamaica. But
yeah.
go ahead.
Well, I think that something that the brother touched upon, and there's other subjects as to why these things are happening, depending upon your content and your philosophy of life. Something that you mentioned, and I chuckled when you said that when you mentioned Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory, before he transitioned, he wrote a book, and in the book, he talked about these hurricanes and tornadoes. He said as a result, and those who are listening to the one, you can get his book. He wrote several books, but it's most latest before he transitioned. He said that because of our ancestors dying and their bodies being thrown in the Atlantic Ocean through the Middle Passes, are causing these disturbances.
That's what
That's
I
why I
was going to
chuckle when the
say.
brother. That's
Yes.
why I chuckle when that brother said that. And those who are listening and watching, uh, if you heard Dick Gregory say that, then you can be in agreement or disagreement. And if you disagree, get his book and read it. I believe that I'm a believer, and I believe everything comes from the Creator. If you mistreat the earth, Allah the Most High will maybe perhaps reset this earth. What I mean by reset, something that the brother said. The animals and the earth was here before humans was here. So it may be a possibility if we don't get it right, we may all vanish from this earth, this ball, and this earth may reset itself. And let me say this, those of you who remember the tsunami, if you look at that film footage, you can go on YouTube, the animals suspected something before humans did. I'm talking about the tsunami. So the
for sure,
creation knows through its nature that the earth isn't right.
for sure,
It's us
for
who are
sure.
playing around. Okay?
It's a
So I
fact.
just want
It's
to
a
add
fact.
that. But
Yeah, that's what I was going to get into the souls of our ancestors. So, Jay Muse, can you mute yourself, please?
Sure.
Thank you. I want to get into that as far as when you look at that passage down that Atlantic Ocean and the way that it goes, that's the that hurricane goes. That's the same way our slaves was brought down. So it's just it's just amazing to me how the spirit still lives and how the spirit still will redeem itself.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's just amazing to
yeah,
me, and some people, they don't understand, and they don't want to hear that because they only go by what's face value. But the world is much bigger than what we think it is, and I just want to just give thanks to our ancestors and may their soul be at ease from all the things that has happened to them. Because not for nothing, we are living in their pain, meaning that we carry 10 to 15 generations of our ancestors' pain, trauma, and memories in our DNA. Sometimes we don't know why we have like our family has depression or mental health issues or maybe diabetes or high blood pressure, things of that nature, because those things was passed down to us through our womb, our mother womb. So for instance, say if during the slavery time, um when we, I don't got jumped up with my words. We came from an indigenous background where we had sacred practices where we were able to heal things of that nature. Once we became enslaved, our modalities was taken from us, so we wasn't able to practice certain things for us to be able to heal. So being that when our mothers had went through something, with a woman, our pain, our trauma, and our memories is stored in our womb. And a lot of women don't know that of that know that these days. Only how I know that's because I had went through the Sacred Woman Queen of Full Rites of Passage. Moving forward, right? So if the mother is not getting her healing, and it has to be stored somewhere, so it's stored in her womb. So when she's pregnant, all of that memory and that trauma is passed to her child. Even if it's a male, it'll be stored in his heart womb. So as he grows and he gets older, he's dealing with his, his challenges and his ancestors, and it's being passed down from generation to generation. So please comment in the chat because when you text me, I get
Let let
distracted. Comment
let
in
me
the
say that.
chat.
Let me say this. Let me say this, that people could take it for what it's worth, but there's a biblical verse that when uh, Cain murdered Abel, and there's a passage that says that his blood crieth from the ground. How could blood cry? That's spiritual because he committed murder, but the blood crieth from the ground. And of
Mm,
course, he made a statement that most people use: am I my brother's keeper? Well, that's the first statement that, or one of the first statements that Cain the murderer said, and we use that today. So, yeah, when you're dealing with the earth and it's unsettling, it's a sign to let us know to get ourselves together too, as a people, as humans. And so these things are spiritual, and most of us need to reacquaint ourselves with the spiritual realm. I'm not talking about, excuse me, my cap. I'm not talking about Casper the Friendly Ghost. For those of you who think, no, I'm talking about a higher reality that has a reality, and we have to tap into that and understand why are these things happening, and why is there so much devastation and destruction.
Okay, so
And
we got to move along
yeah,
because we 122. We went to
yes,
122.
absolutely,
So, is
yes.
there anything else you brothers want to say in regards to the weather in Jamaica?
Well, look what happened here. Look what happened
Mm-hmm.
in Brooklyn, New
Mm.
York. People never saw floods, cars floating down Fulton Street in Bed-Stuy. People never saw
Right.
water rushing into the subway system like it is, because the way they built the drainage in the subway system, or drainage in general, it was never built to consume all of this water. And this is just the beginning, ladies and gentlemen, that we're going to have more catastrophes.
Just
Someone
break the
is
curse.
telling us that, well, the creator of life is telling us something, because the animals never disobeyed the great creator, Allah of the universe. It is man and woman that have to be taught a lesson. Because after it's all over, and when this earth resets itself, animals will do what is in their nature to do. They'll survive because it's us who are disobedient to the creator. And some of us
Yep.
don't even know whether we're
Yep.
disobedient or not.
All right, so are
Just
we are
break the
we done with
curse.
this segment? Because we got to move on.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll move on.
Anything else you want to say, J Muse?
Break the curse. Rewrite history. That's it. It's up
All
to
right,
us.
cool. Mute
Right.
mute yourself because you got that background going. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, here we go, here we go, here we go. It's money time. It's money time. So listen, if you tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, because we about to give out $50 cash. And I want J Muse to help me with this question, to help me with a question. Do you have a question, J Muse? Because I want you to help me out with this. You got a question?
Not right now, but go ahead.
You don't got a question? All right, cool. So let's see. I want to make it hard but not easy. But hold on, because we gotta do this first. Wait a minute. It's trivia time. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. All right, so the first question is going to be, what was our hot topic last week?
Mm.
The first question is, what was our hot topic last week? Do do do. Oh, I gotta get that sound. Do 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 do. Is that one too hard? Is that one too hard? What was our hot topic last week?
I don't know. I'll be honest.
This question is not for you, J Muse.
It's for the
The,
guests.
it's for the
Not the guests, excuse me.
audience.
The audience, yeah.
That's why
She's
I asked
trying to
you,
give away. She's trying to give away some money.
do you want to give out? Do you want to have a question? Oh, I think I see something coming in the chat.
Okay. Somebody's trying to get that $50.
Theo Russian says the elements of water. No, that was one of the
Oh,
questions that we asked. But
yeah,
it's
that's
good to
right.
see we have
Yeah.
a follow up audience member.
Yeah, from last week.
Philip
That's
said I
good.
was sick last week, but you caught some of it though. You caught some of it. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad. This is the same person I think I'm talking about.
Okay.
Um, what was the hot topic last week? Do do do. I'm trying to give away some
Trying to
money.
give away the $50. That
Yes,
$50 out
yes,
there,
yes, yes, yes,
ladies and
yes.
gentlemen. You can use it for something. Uh, Omni card if you live in New York City, or maybe a book. Yeah, me, $50. That's like one book. But
All right, you know
giving
what? We're
away.
gonna go. We're gonna go to the next one. We're gonna go to the next one.
Okay.
All right. What is the book that I mentioned earlier? If y'all was paying attention,
Wow. That's easy. You giving that away. Yeah.
let me find out nobody don't want this money because I can keep my
Maybe not.
$50.
Maybe not. Maybe not. You save it for the next episode.
Hey,
God willing.
listen, God willing. J Muse, you got a question? El Hodge, you got a question?
Sure.
I had a question
I got a
last
question.
week. Oh, you got a question? Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, Jay. Jay, you
Uh-oh.
said,
Thea Russia said glass
Oh,
of water with a candle. Okay, let me write
oh,
that down.
wow.
Anybody
Great,
else?
great. Wow. Wow. That's great. I hope the
And
audience is
I
still paying
believe Thea
attention.
Russian was here last week too. Yep, sure was.
Okay. Well,
All right.
okay.
Anybody else? Anybody else? This better not be one of my kids.
Well, you will soon find out.
This better not
You'll
be one
soon
of my
find out.
kids.
You'll soon find out, right?
We gonna soon find out. All right, J Muse, what's your question?
um, is it in reference to last or this one? This one.
No, um, no, just give a question.
Yeah.
Any question? Okay. What were three keywords that was used more than once in this podcast? Three keywords that was
Mm.
used more than once.
Ooh, that was a good one. Text it to me, J Muse.
Yeah, because she needs to know that to be sure, to be fair. Yeah, she needs to know that because there are some people.
What was three key words
Yeah,
that
she
was
has to send
used
it to
in
you.
this podcast? Three key
And let me,
words. What was the
yeah,
three key
let me
words?
say to the audience out there, I appreciate you all still tuning in to this podcast. It is well appreciated. Whoever's still, uh, listening and viewing this podcast, we all appreciate you.
J Muse, I think this one may be hard.
Yeah, because they would have to die. Well, they would have
Not
to
for people
really.
who pay attention.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
people log in late though. Some people log in late.
yeah.
Some
Some
people
people
log in
log
late.
in.
Oh,
Remember we almost in
damn.
2 hours. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Some
It would
people
have to
log
be
in late.
something.
Okay.
Okay.
Almost. Oh, I'm giving away the answers.
What
Almost
about
Okay.
two
Rufe Phillips.
keywords? Two.
Almost Rufe Phillips. Almost. 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 You're almost there. Almost. Almost. It's three. Three of them.
It's Philip. What's up, Phil?
No, he said. Look what he said. He said
Spirituality,
spirituality,
earth.
earth, mute yourself.
Oh, oh man, what a yeah, yo,
I
brother.
love a good Kiki.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good
That
one.
was a good
And those
one.
and
That
those
was a good
and
one.
those words were uttered several times, more than one time.
They definitely was.
That's right. That's right. That's right. It don't hurt, but try. It don't hurt to try. We are pretty.
All right.
Oh man.
So he said, I'm not completely wrong.
Right. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
But
Definitely not. Definitely not. All
I
right.
had
So
mentioned one last year. I
go
mean,
ahead.
last year. Oh my God, last week. And remember, it never. We never got an answer.
Which one was
I
that?
don't. Last week, I told the audience what was Dr. Martin Luther King's first name before it became Martin.
Mm, okay. I got the question.
I'm gonna say it again for the listening audience and the viewing audience. What was Dr. Martin Luther King's first name before it became Martin?
Okay. Anybody want this cash money? $50, $50,
You could do
$50.
something with that $50.
Listen, because it was my birthday on Saturday. I could use that money. Oh, why y'all figuring that out? I just want to say how much I enjoy my birthday, and I vended on my birthday. Shout out to my bro Kev. I made a few $100 on my birthday. It felt so
That's
good
good.
to
That's
go and
good.
just show up as myself and show up with my business as a black entrepreneur, as a black woman entrepreneur. Again, I've been doing this for a few years, and I went through my mud, and then I didn't think I was going to do it again. I put it down, and my spirit was like, no, you're not done yet. You got to go back and you got to do it over. So shout out, shout out, shout out, shout out, shout out. So yeah, so I'm giving y'all $50 of my half. My Yeah, I got Google it, Google it. Phillips is like, damn, I'm stumped. Google it. Hello, we live in the IT information age.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello. Well,
Because last week no one was able to give us that answer, and
nope.
this
I
week
don't like it.
so
I like
far,
nobody's able to give the answer this week either.
yeah, yeah.
I want to know who was Thea Russian. Thea Russian said Michael.
He's absolute. He's absolutely right.
Okay.
He's absolutely
Thea
right.
Russian got 2 for 2. This better not be one of my kids.
He's absolutely right. It was Michael before it was Martin, because it's well, yeah, it
Let's
was
do one
Michael.
more. Let's do one more. Jmuse, where you go? Let's do an easy one.
I'm right here. Yeah, I ain't going nowhere.
Let's do an easy one. Let's do an easy one. Let's give out an easy question. I'm trying to give somebody $50.
Yeah, she's trying to
You
give
want me?
the
Yeah,
audience out there.
I'm trying to give somebody else another chance because I don't this Thea Russian person making me a little nervous. I think it's one of my
Yeah, yeah.
kids.
You think it's one of your kids giving a
Think
bogus
You want me to
name?
ask the question?
Yeah, ask the question. Give it an easy one. I want to give away some money.
Okay, cool. Uh, gender of hurricanes.
You know what? What is the name of the hurricane that just passed from Jamaica?
Okay, that's a good one, and that's current.
That's
Oh,
Oh,
I
a
know
that's a
that
eat.
one.
that's current.
That's a softball. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Whether the people that's still been on from the very beginning, or people who
What is
just
the name of
yeah, that's
Melissa?
easy.
Rufe Phillips. All right,
Yep.
Phillip. All
Okay.
right,
Okay.
hold on.
Okay.
So Rufe Phillip got one. Let's give one more. Let's give two more to make it a tiebreaker. Chandler,
Yes.
you give one, an easy
Okay.
one.
Okay. Um. Hmm. What state was Malcolm X, Malcolm Little, born? What state was he born in the United States? Malcolm, before he became Malcolm X, Minister Malcolm X, his name was Malcolm Little. What state was Malcolm born in?
Yeah, better hurry up to Google. What state was Malcolm X born? Malcolm Little. I'm trying to give out this $50.
He's trying to give out that $50, ladies and
$50,
gentlemen.
$50, the $50 holla.
Everybody can use that $50. You can buy a book,
Thea
buy
Russia said Omaha and
Omaha. That's okay. Omaha, what?
why I can't see them two words. I gotta put my glasses on. Where's my glasses?
Okay. Okay.
Is that right? Because I can't see.
Nebraska.
Yeah. Yep. They absolutely
That's
right.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, that was so
Absolutely.
embarrassing. That was so embarrassing.
Yep. Omaha,
I think I
Nebraska.
need to put my glasses on. Omaha, Nebraska.
Yep.
So
Where he was
Theo
born.
Russian. All right. So we got. I'm trying. Hey, I'm trying to keep it going. Jace, you got one? You got one more?
I asked it earlier. What was the gender of the hurricane? He said
Duh,
easy.
they answered already. They said Melissa.
They
You
they
got another
they,
one?
they answered. Yeah, they answered. Melissa, they
Not the
already answered.
name. I said gender. Gender. But okay, so let's do what was the author of the book that you oh no, that's too hard. Too hard.
That's too hard.
I can't even think of that one.
I got one. Um,
Okay.
who was the maker or the producer or the creator of Hidden Colors?
Mm.
Does anybody know what Hidden Colors is?
I do. I ain't gonna answer nothing.
Does anybody know
Somebody
what
out there does.
Hidden Colors is? The movie Hidden Colors. I think these questions are a little too hard. The documentary.
It's my favorite. No, it shouldn't be hard. Not for our people. Right hard? It shouldn't be hard.
Yeah, well,
I know
they were
Hidden
selling
Colors
them.
front to back
They were
5 times.
right. They were selling him. They were selling those DVDs on the street back in the days. So,
And now it's on
uh,
YouTube. All 5 series are on YouTube, y'all. Y'all
oh,
crazy.
oh wow,
It's on YouTube.
wow,
All five, 11 hours straight.
Really? Because I remember they wouldn't
wow.
even give that up. Come on,
It
y'all.
might
Come on.
it
Come
might be
on.
in
I
Come
got
on.
you.
competition. That's why.
Off camera. I got you.
No. Going once. Going twice because we got to keep it moving. We got to keep it moving. We got to keep it moving. I'm
So
trying to
no
give
one was
y'all.
able to get the $50. No one was able to get the
No,
50
somebody
bucks.
was able to get it. Somebody
Oh,
was able to
somebody.
get it.
Oh, someone
Somebody
was
was
able
able
to
to
get it.
get it.
Okay,
Yep.
okay,
Okay. Ruface. Philip said Tariq Nasheed. Yep. That was it. That was the answer.
okay, okay.
All right. So last one. Last question. Do y'all have a question?
Uh oh boy, I have. Well, no, this one's gonna be too hard. I'm not going to. Yeah, I'll give him. What was the middle name of President Obama? His middle name.
Oh, that's a good one.
What was his middle name? He had a middle name. What was President Obama's middle name?
I'm sure it wasn't Osama.
Well, people were saying they were slip of the
Hussein,
tongue.
Thea Russian. All right, that's it.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
Hussein. Absolutely right.
Thea
Absolutely.
Russian. All right. Let's give some round of applause. Hold on, where my button? Where my
Okay.
button? Where my button? Where my button? Where my button? I should have had it right here. I need a producer. Shout out to Thea Russian.
Okay. Great.
You are the
Okay.
winner. You are the winner. You are the winner. Thank you so kindly for tuning in to Don't Think Too Hard podcast. Please, 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 text me your Cash App number. As a matter of fact, I would like for you to call me because I want to make sure this is not one of my kids. So 347-628-2485. Please call me once the podcast has ended. That is 347-628-2485. Uh-oh, we lost Jay again. Three
Yeah.
four seven 628-2485. And if this is one of my kids and you try to put somebody else on the phone, I'm going to know that it is you.
Right. It's not going to work. If it's any one of your children, you're going to find out.
I'm going to find out.
Yeah.
All right, we got Jmuse coming back on. So I just want to say thank y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. Thank you for playing Hot Topics. I mean, thank you for playing Trivia Time. I just want to say I appreciate y'all. I always try to keep it within the hour. It never stays within the hour for some reason. Um, I just want to ask my co-hosts and my guests, do they have anything else they would like to say before we
Yeah.
close
I
out?
have some. Yes, I do. Um, I thank the listening audience for being patient, for the little technical difficulties, because I know how some people are, little technical difficulties, they'll just turn it off and go to another podcast or whatever. Uh, Thank you for your patience. We appreciate you all. Please share this podcast. We're trying to be informative. We're not trying to get it in the gutter like most podcasts, getting into people's personal life and mudslinging. That's not what we're about here. The sensationalism was keep people interested. You know, what's going to happen with the next episode? No, that's not what we're here for. We're here to uplift our people and humanity at large. That's what we're about. That's what we're about. So I thank you once again for tuning in to this podcast, and we appreciate every one of you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm trying to text Jay Muse. I'm to tell him to come back on and say goodbye. He's having technical difficulties over there, but
Yeah,
it's okay. We're going to
yeah,
be patient with him and we're going to hold space for him. I just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you for tuning in with me this third season. If anyone that knows me, know that it's been a struggle. But you just got to keep pushing forward. You just got to keep going.
yeah.
Just keep going. And let me tell you something. Today it was a good day, but the devil was busy today. The devil was really busy today, and when I mean mute your mic, mute your mic. The devil, the devil was so busy today. From from the calls that was coming in, every time I tried to focus, it was something one after another. After I said, you know what, I'm not gonna let the devil get to me. Something else came. It was one behind the other, and then once I finally sat down in front of, my setup and said, okay, I can log on now. My co-host had technical difficulties. Jay Muse
Oh
said
yeah,
he still was setting up, and I'm just like, okay, we going to keep going, and we was having this issue all the way up until the moment we went live.
yeah,
So the energy just was just janky, and on top of the fact that I still have to be the administrator, and still be the host, and I said, you know what? This is why I do it. Because back in the day, I would have said, fuck it. And I would have just said, you know what? Maybe it's not meant to be. But what I am learning is that no matter what, if you want to make it to a goal everything ain't always going to be easy every day. And look what we said, rise through the mud. And we had some mud today. It was some mud that we had to go through. Thank you, Phillips. He said we was amazing. Thank you. We appreciate that.
We
Uh,
appreciate that.
yeah,
And tell a loved one, tell a friend to tune in, God willing, to the next podcast. We appreciate you. We appreciate
yeah.
everybody. We really do.
So as far and I was supposed to say this in the beginning, but going through what we was going through, it slipped my mind. Um, not to give up. And on Saturday, like I said, I was so focused on my birthday was Saturday, and I normally have an outfit. I normally have everything together about what I'm going to wear, what I'm going to do, and things of that nature. And I was so focused on the relaunch of this podcast last week and so focused on doing that event and getting my products and my business together on my birthday that I just didn't plan anything for my birthday and didn't have anything to wear. So after the event was over, I was going out that night and I didn't have anything. I'm like, it's my birthday. I'll always have a birthday outfit. So I was told to go to the Bronx on Third Avenue, and I was always already in the Bronx. And I'm walking in the stores, and I'm just like, "What is happening here? What's going on here? I can't find nothing." And I walked in the store, the last store that I walked in, I was just ready to cry. I was like, "Oh my god! Like, what's going on? I'm not gonna have an outfit for my birthday because when it's your birthday for me, I want to feel good. I want to just feel special and." A part of my tradition, even with my children, is a birthday outfit. It's like Easter to me. So I walked in, literally a tear was getting ready to roll down my eye, and bing, the last outfit on the mannequin was mine. The last
Mm.
store, as I was getting ready to cry, I was getting ready to give up. I felt it in my heart. And the whole point that I was trying to say was don't give up. Right when I was getting ready to give up and say, fuck it, is when I found the outfit. Don't give up. Don't give up. And we last week they were saying, I was told that well, maybe we should, you don't have everything together. Maybe you should do it for next week. And I'm like, no, because last week, to the last minute, the very last second, my producers sent me over the intro and the hot topics and things of that nature, and I was like, no, I'm going to go on. I'm tired of putting things off. I'm tired of giving up. No, I don't care what's happening. So throughout all the mistakes, this is for me and to also, be a light and a guide to someone else that when things is not perfect, so what? Keep going. Don't let it distract you. Everything is not going to be perfect and it's going to build your armor, it's going to build your character, and you're going to come out so much stronger at the end. So before I say my last words, Jmuse, do you have anything you want to say?
Yes. Health, wealth, knowledge of self. That's it. We're gonna keep building.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone that has tuned in. We are at the end of the show. I
Thank
appreciate
you
you
guys. I
all.
appreciate you, Mr. Hodge. I appreciate you, Ito, having me as a
I
guest. This is
appreciate
a
you.
big opportunity for me. My first time. We're gonna continue to build and just keep moving forward spiritually as a unit.
There you go.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes, we
sir.
definitely
Yes,
will.
sir.
Definitely, definitely,
Yes,
definitely.
sir.
So I just want to
Yes,
say
sir.
thank you to the audience. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. Thank you to everyone that's going to tune in later. Thank you to my co-host. Thank you to my wonderful guests. I appreciate y'all so much. I cannot do this without y'all. Like I said, it's a community. It's a community. But you got to
Blessings.
remember, see, it's not just community. You have to have the right people in your community because everybody don't belong in your community. I just want to say that. Some
Yeah.
people will come in and be like a bad apple and will spoil a whole bunch. J Muse, mute your mic. Thank you so kindly. Thank you so kindly. So I'll say this at the end of every podcast. Have you done something for yourself lately? Have you done anything for you today? When was the last time you done something for yourself? I ask you that. I ask you. If you haven't done something for yourself today or lately, I challenge you. I challenge you today, before you go to bed, to do something for you because it's not small, no matter how small you may think it is. Even if you go in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. If you give yourself a hug, because sometimes we need that. Buy yourself a piece of chocolate, a piece of cake, eat your favorite meal, put on your favorite outfit and blast the music and dance. Sit in the tub, soak in the tub, have a hot bath, have a sip of wine. Do something for you. And the reason why I say that is because what made me start this self love journey some years ago was when I had that nervous breakdown. And I went into the hospital on Valentine's Day. And I said, if this is not God showing me that I have to love me, I was depleted. And I wasn't doing anything for me. I looked for everyone outside of me to do something for me. And didn't realize that the greatest love comes from me and God. So I challenge you to do something for you. I'm going to check back with you next week. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And after you do something for yourself, write down how you feel. Write down how you feel. Always check in with self to see what self need. Say, what do I need today? How do I want to make myself happy today? Did you smile today? Because sometimes we could have a bad day and somebody could just tick us off and it'll ruin our whole day. So I challenge you, do something for you. We still got people coming in the chat.
Oh
Aww.
yeah. Oh
Oh, somebody
wow. No
said,
kidding.
Thea, I love you, sister. Okay, that must be some. Okay. I love you more. I think I know who that is. Hey, sister. All right, so I love y'all. Peace and blessings. Oh, Stephanie. Oh, I think I know who this is too. Stephanie Smith. Jmuse, we know what we need. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that. I love y'all. Thank y'all for the support. And be kind to yourself and do something for you. Peace.